Hi, welcome to my second video in the 1600 player teaching 1500 and below series. Let's see what to do here. Normally I'm a French defense kind of player. I might want to play e5 just for the sake of teaching purposes though. Let's do that. You have to bear in mind I'm not as well in depth with the e4, e5 stuff. It's kind of silly because that's pretty much what everyone learns at the start, but I pretty much took off to d4 almost immediately. I never really liked e4. Okay, we're gonna enter the Italian game. So I think what some people do is they play h6 just to stop this knight coming into there and then into f7. But I think better is just to develop the bishop here, because if he goes here right away, then you can just take with the queen. So it's all fine. Now, one thing to look out for is if he plays this move, right? So now his bishop is helping him out on this square, so if he goes there, if I were to take with my queen, then I'd lose my queen, right? So have to be aware of this now. He's gonna do his annoying stuff. Think I can just develop my knight, and then if he goes there, I can just castle. So yep, that's what I'm gonna do. Okay, so he's castling. Yep. Playing pretty mirrored so far. I'd like to play d6 to get my dark squared bishop outside of the pawn chain and to reinforce e5. I think that's a pretty appealing next move. I don't know what to do for my light squared bishop though. Probably bring him over to g4, just so he could exert some pressure on that knight with the pin. Probably depends on what he's going to do next move. Okay, let's see. I think I'll just continue as normal, because if he is to take here, I'd get the bishop pair, but I'd get doubled pawns, and I'm fairly okay with that. I'd open up this b file by taking with the pawn, because I can't really take with the d pawn if I'm pushing it. Then I can move my rook over, and then take control over this entire b file. So I think I'll do that. See, takes, whatever move, and then this. Okay, so he's not even going to do that just yet. So I'm going to develop my bishop here to protect here. So if he trades my knight here, that would be even better, because I'd prefer having the bishop pair without having the doubled pawns. Because normally they can be good in some scenarios, like what I just said with opening the file, but I prefer not to have them in general. Okay, now I expect him to, yep, he's going to play there. He's going to try to cramp open my position a bit. I take this pawn. I have to be aware that this pawn is under attack. Going to drop this back, because it's pretty much the only option. I think he's going to play here. Now if he plays here, I have some options. I can bring my bishop to d7 and then repurpose him, or I could consider putting him on b5 and then pushing the pawn up. So I'd attack his knight, but then there could be some options of his a-pawn pushing and then annoying me. So I don't know if I want to let that happen, because if his a-pawn starts pushing, he'll be grabbing up some space on the queen side. So I have to see. Maybe, I mean, his rook is still... Okay, I found another reason not to do this one. So if I attack his rook here, obviously, like, he's gonna move. I mean, that's his only option. And now he's protecting this weak pawn that I want to hit. So I'm gonna go for here. Maybe repurpose his bishop. And if he moves here, I could move my rook over and start attacking this d-pawn twice. Or e-pawn, sorry. Okay, I went to the side. The rook or the bishop move? I think the bishop move. Okay, I will just let that happen, I think. If he takes on b3, like this, because then I can open up the a file. So I'm gonna go hit this pawn twice. This bishop move has blocked his rook from being able to defend as well, so he's forced to take here, I think. And I'm relatively okay with it. I could get my rook onto, let's say, a5 or something. A nice active square. On a side note, I really like playing on Lichess because chess.com I have to pay like $8 a month or whatever for a membership. And I don't really like that, so yeah. Let's see what to do. Okay, I could play h3, but not really much to stop him from just moving back here. And if I don't keep my queen here, then I get my knight taken with doubled pawns and my king side would be a little bit unsafe. Yeah, this is a good move for him. I don't really feel comfortable with this play h3. I'm gonna hope he doesn't just go to h4, but that's what I expect him to do. I mean, the same thing is kind of happening to his knight, so we're pretty symmetrical so far. Oh, nice. Okay. So this was a dream come true, basically. So I'm still hitting this pawn, but I don't have the attacker there. So I have to keep in mind, I don't really want to trade these bishops off for these knights. So when you have two bishops and the opponent has two knights, what you should do is open up the position because bishops are better as a long range piece while the knights are better close range. So gonna try to make some pawn trades happening and then open things up so my bishops can take advantage of the long diagonals while the knights will have to maneuver around a bit. See. For now, I think I will just play this a6 move just to deny his knight this outpost square. When you're playing against knights, you have to deny them of squares they would like to go to. This pawn moves like this. So you're limiting their territory. This move also gives my bishop a bit of a escape. Okay. I could try some stuff on his king right now, because this pawn's pinned. See if there's anything. I noticed there's this weak square, but I don't know if I can get in there. That would be nice. It's not really possible though. I think I'll offer a queen trade, just so I can get to the endgame faster. So endgame is where I'll have those nice open diagonals from my bishops. I don't think he can really decline this, because he'd have to move his queen to some really passive square and I'd have a nice active position. Then I could, if he does, I could consider moving my rook up and then attacking his king. Because he's probably not going to notice that this... Oh, never mind. Yes, he does. Wait, did he just... I believe he just dropped his queen. I'm going to let him have this. Just because I want the video to be good. And plus, I don't really care about the outcome of this match. Like, my Lichess rating isn't something I'm really caring for at all, so... Okay, let's see. What to do. Okay, I guess I'll just go with that plan of developing this rook. Have to be wary of these moves. don't want my bishop to get trapped, so. I have to think about how I'm going to open up this position. These pawns in the center, probably the thing stopping me from getting into the endgame I want. I'd be pretty content if I could get my bishop into that square, but his knight's there. And I'm still gonna follow my policy of not trading, so. Let's see. I could also, instead of going here, maybe I could consider going to here. I'm not sure which one is better. I'm guessing g5 because if he goes here then my rook isn't just looking at a pawn. It's actually staring at that, so. I could consider some ideas of sacrificing my bishop if he plays h3 right here. Nah, okay. I'm gonna move it back, maybe I'll get my bishop there. Repurpose him. So far I'm really liking this position. Things are going good. I'm a little bit low on time, but I have a nice attack going. Okay. I don't know if I want to trade queens or anything, so just gonna move my queen up. Attack him again. So his knight moving allows my bishop to get into this b5 square. I think I just lost my bishop pair. It's unfortunate. Actually no, if he moves in I can gain his queen. And I'm not taking back this one because this is actually just a straight up tactic. Because the previous one he just hung it, but this one's different, so. Maybe I'll consider dropping this bishop back just to keep him alive. Have to speed up a little bit so I don't lose on time here. Not sure what I'm gonna do with this other rook here. Okay. Have to get him into the game at some point. What to do with him? Do I move him up or do I move him down? I think I don't want to play to the H file because then my rook is starting to feel a little trapped. So I think I'll just bring him down. If he pushes here, then I can just bring him back up. Or do I? Let's see. Push here, pawn down, push him up again. Yeah, this looks fine. He might have just overlooked this. I'm still remembering that his knight can't take my bishop yet. I want to get this attack going. What am I missing? So I need to find a way to free up this square from this knight, or this rook. Okay, I'm gonna drop this bishop back now. I can consider playing my bishop here, and then I'd have some ability to win his knight. After he protects it, I could push this pawn up. Maybe? I don't know, there might be some stuff there. I think just to get this working out though, I need to get my other rook into the game. He can't just be sitting on a8. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and go with this plan. I expect him to play here now. Huh, that's an interesting solution. Okay, I didn't consider that. That's good, actually. My queen is a little bit trapped. I think I have to take, unfortunately. This kind of sucks. That kind of killed my attack, to be honest. Not a good play by me. This guy just keeps disconnecting. Okay, to prepare. So if he takes with a rook, then I have to move here, I think, just to take care of this pawn. I could also be hitting that pawn too. If he takes with a queen, I might just trade. This pawn's weak, that pawn's weak. So. Then again, so is my pawn here. I think I'd be doing fine if we went into an endgame. Because it'd still be bishop versus knight. It's not the bishop pair like I wanted, but bishop is still better than knight, I think. It depends if we get a pawn island or just a bunch of cluster pawns. So yeah, I think I'll go for this. Now I'm gonna move my bishop back here maybe, just to defend this pawn. I don't want to have my rook have the job of babysitting the pawn, so I'm gonna go attack that e-pawn. Okay. My rook is a little uncomfortable here. I think he's trapped, actually. Okay, looks like I'm winning an e-pawn. Please be nice in chat. Okay. Believe he's giving me a free rook. Unfortunate. This was a good video. I mean, I guess it was a lot of stuff to teach, but I don't like it when it just ends on a tactic like that. Okay, so now I'm gonna try to trade off his knight, and then I'll have just a rook up, so everything will be fine. Yep, so this is a good game so far. I don't really have any fear of losing now, thanks to that little blunder he did. And he's also disconnected again, so. Is he just gonna run out of time? I think he is. Oh well. So, if he tries to move his knight away, let's say to there, I could move my rook to c2 and then at least win a pawn. So, either way, there's not really much hope for him left in this position. Kind of happens when you're a rook down. So yeah, looks like he just times out. That's unfortunate. I wished that didn't happen, but I don't know if it's a rage quit or his internet died or something, but yeah. Okay, thanks for watching.